Hi, family. It is I, African Osorenko. And yes, behind me, you can see I'm already well prepared for the holidays. Family, I'm coming to you on a serious note to discuss Susan Lawrence. Susan Lawrence is the Caucasian woman that killed her neighbor, uh, shot her through the door, I believe, in front of her children. Okay. This was a racist attack on a black woman. She had been attacking the children, the black children in the community. There was a piece of property that she was claiming was hers, and so whenever the children were playing on it, she was harassing the children, calling them the N word, calling them all kind of names, threatening them and everything. Never arrested. Okay? Not only this woman that she killed, but other parents had already called law enforcement on more than several occasions, yet they never arrested this woman. And family, we have to know that in America, there are two different judicial systems. There's a judicial system for black people, and there's a judicial system for white people. And we already know this, family, because we see it play out so many times. So let me get into the story so I can tell you a little more about it. So it says a white woman in Florida who fatally shot a black neighbor um, who confronted her amid a long standing dispute over the neighbor's children. See, and they downplay it so it's ridiculous, okay? They downplay it to say, oh, it was just her and her children. There were many other children this woman was harassing. Was sentenced on Monday to 25 years in prison. It says in a case that prompted national outrage, and the reason it prompted national outrage, family, is because they didn't arrest her when she killed this woman in front of her children. The police, law enforcement, the DA's office, nobody did anything. They allowed this woman to live continuously in her home as though she had not broken one law. um in a case that prompted national outrage and reignited debate around the stand your ground laws, Susan Lawrence, 60, shot Ajiki Owens as Miss Owens, 35, stood outside the door of Miss Lawrence's home in Ocala, a city about 80 miles northwest of Orlando, in June of 2023. It says Miss Lawrence, who was convicted of manslaughter, family, manslaughter, and she intentionally shot this woman. And I was watching some of the sentencing, and they were questioning a psychologist about her mental health and about her being molested when she was a child, and this causing her to kill this woman. The woman was racist. That's flat out it. She was a racist bigot, and she intended to hurt this woman in front of her children. She didn't care. Uh, who was convicted of manslaughter by an all-white jury in August, had faced a maximum sentence of 30 years. However, at the sentencing hearing on Monday in Ocala, Florida, the victim's mother, Pamela Diaz, spoke of her four grandchildren. This woman had four grandchildren, Miss Owens did. Susan took away their vibrant young mother, said the grandmother, reading from an impact statement. Susan Lorincz shot their mother through a locked metal door. She didn't even open the door to see if there was danger, to identify danger. She just immediately thought, or judge, it's a black person, it's danger. Miss Lawrence, who had not testified during her trial, stood after several witnesses spoke in her defense. Wearing a yellow jail jumpsuit, she spoke at length of her health issues, including a diagnosis of post traumatic stress disorder linked to childhood sexual abuse. You know, it's amazing how whenever they do something like this and they're being held accountable for it, then we have to bring up how we had sexual abuse, and all of these things. Well, many people have suffered, that disgusting trauma of sexual abuse in their childhood, and they didn't grow up to be killers. They didn't grow up to kill people. So, yeah. Okay. Then she apologized to Miss Owens' family. Ugh. I am so sorry I took AJ's life. I never intended to kill her, she said. I could not understand why she was so angry. Her voice breaking, she said, I so wish I could go back and change things so she was still here. I would trade my life. And we know that's a lie. She wouldn't trade her life because if she wanted to trade her life, she should have thought about that on the day she murdered Miss Owens, okay? The two neighbors had repeated confrontations over Miss Owens' children, who would play in a grassy area near Miss Lawrence's home, along with other neighborhood children from the housing complex, the authorities said. This woman was harassing all of the black children and Hispanic children, is what she was doing. On June 2nd, 2023, Miss Owens went to Miss Lawrence's store to confront her after Miss Lawrence shouted at her children and threw things at them. And in fact, I think a few of the children she actually hit with whatever she was throwing at them. One of the children, she hit him in the face with one of the objects. Miss Lawrence fired a handgun through the door, striking Miss Owens, who was not armed, in the chest. Shot this woman in the chest. She knew what she was doing. Miss Lawrence's lawyer, Amanda Sizemore, a public defender, had asked the court for a lenient sentence, invoking Miss Lawrence's mental illness and saying that her client was substantially impaired at the time of the crime. She also said that she had acted under duress. Who forced her to do this? Duress is being coerced into doing something. How was she? So the victim coerced you to kill her. Ugh, these people. Owen's family had sought the maximum prison sentence. Before handing down the shorter sentence, Circuit Judge Robert Hodges said that he had taken under consideration the diagnosis of post traumatic stress disorder and the fact that Miss Lawrence did not have a criminal record before she shot Miss Owens. However, he said those factors were outweighed by the impact the shooting had on the victim and her family, as well as the aggravated nature of the offense. I find the shooting was completely unnecessary, said Judge Hodges. Noting that the door was closed and locked, and that Miss Lawrence knew that law enforcement was en route to her home. At the time she fired the gun through the door, she was safe, he said. Ms. Owens was a single mother of four who worked as a manager in the restaurant and hospitality industry, according to a crowdfunding page set up by her family after her death. Miss Lawrence had worked for an insurance company when she was younger. She had been a singer in New York. She said on Monday, this woman wasn't working. She had too much time on her hand. These are the people that they approve for disability. But then sick black people get told they're not sick, that they need to continue working until the age of 75, okay? This system, black people, family, this system is not for us. Know that this system is not for us, and please wake up. The case garnered national attention after a delay in arresting Miss Lawrence. As a result of Florida's Stand Your Ground self protection uh, laws, it gained prompted an out. It again prompted an outcry when prosecutors decided to charge Miss Lawrence with manslaughter rather than the second degree murder that it was. And it was truly first degree murder. But legally, I could understand them not charging her with first degree, thinking that she would get off, and then it would be double jeopardy. They wouldn't be able to charge her. But imagine how that makes sense. It's rationalized. However, when there's a black defendant, same circumstance, they would be first degree murder, and they would have got life without the possibility of parole for taking that woman's life. Family, that's all I'm going to read for that. There's more to it, but I'm going to say this. As Black people, we must understand that this system was not intended for us to receive justice. It was not intended for us to receive fair hearings and trials. It is not intended for us to have due process. The system here is intended to put away Black people and to allow white people to commit these kinds of heinous crimes. That's what it is. It is unfortunate that this poor woman was murdered in front of her children. And the really disgusting part about it as well is that, excuse me, one of the children was standing on the porch with her. This is the one that she threw something when she was throwing things and it hit him in his face. He was standing on the porch with his mother. So this woman could have shot this child and killed him as well, or killed him instead, but she didn't care. Family, we have to understand that this system will never protect us. Okay? You must protect yourselves at all costs, family. It just is what it is. Even though the laws are not intended for you, we must use them to the full benefit of our understanding of the laws. Okay, and I mean you're just gonna have to. Otherwise, this kind of thing will continue to occur. Okay, family, we must wake up. We must wake up. I'm an advocator for separation, equal separation. Okay? I really am. And the reason I say that, family, is because our children suffer in this system. We suffer in this system. And our children's children will continue to suffer in this system. Uh, right now, a lot of people are talking about boycotting. A lot of Black people are talking about boycotting Black Friday. We should have been boycotting Black Friday 40 Black Fridays ago. You know what I'm saying? We should have never been out there running and fighting and grabbing for what? We do nothing but support their system. And it is time for us to stop and support our own in our own lives, family. Family, there are some times coming ahead. And I know right now, as we go into their paganistic holidays and things like that, people don't see it. And yes, I decorate it. Okay. It's more so for my grandchildren, honestly, because my daughter is raising her grandchildren, my grandchildren in the system as I did them because I didn't know any better when I was raising my children. And then in the years that, I started to educate myself and understand. And even though I have these things up, as my children, grandchildren grow, I'm going to talk to them myself. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to show them that these holidays are not. And my children will tell you, I stopped celebrating a lot of the holidays for them. And I guess that's why my daughter wants to celebrate it. There was a lot of the holidays I stopped celebrating, as they were getting older. When they, got into high school and stuff, I didn't believe in it anymore. You know, I love my grandchildren and I want them to be happy, but I really think that we need to educate our children. I really think we have to. We have to. And we can't give an option, I don't think. When they get adults, they can make their own options. But as parents, we have to just give them their option. But it is my daughter's children, so I can't, go against her wishes. But I am going to teach my children. I'm going to teach them. They're going to know. Family, we just have to know that the American system is trash, from the legal system to the every other system, the medical system, every system in America is flawed and it is biased against Black people. And some of us at the age of 50, 55, 60, 65 don't get it. Some of us still don't get it. And we've seen so much and seen so many things happen, yet we still don't get it. I pray, family, that you can continue and be well. And I pray for your safety for the upcoming, years and what may happen. We don't know. And I also pray that our people will wake up globally. And I think that is beginning to happen now. I think what they did not want to happen is the global Black community coming together is starting to happen. I believe it is starting to happen. And I say that we just have to continue to continue to educate ourselves, and continue to love ourselves and to love our community, and to keep pushing for what's right. you know and the one thing I really don't want to hear out of Black people's mouths anymore is they're going to put us into slavery, because I don't know how that's going to happen and how they're going to do that. How is that going to work out for them? I just can't begin to understand that, because I can see a many, 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 many of us not going. Okay. So family, I love you. I wish you peace, love, and blessings. And I pray for each of you. And I hope that you keep me in your prayer as well. And I will continue to advocate for our people, because our people are the chosen people. We are the chosen people. And that will come to light. It already has come to light, but it will definitely it will definitely be magnified in front of our enemies. So, family, I thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and come back. All right? If there's any subject that you would like to see me talk about or discuss, you can shoot me an email or leave a comment, and I will get right on it. Thank you so much, family. Be blessed and have a blessed Indigenous holiday tomorrow. All right. Bye bye.